So it is time. We're going to jump into game number 1 of Falcons here versus Nemesis. And any of these facets
need a little bit more control, I think. Taking that Mars at the end, like Huskar would have made Ursa miserable, but the Mars gives them more options.
Ooh, okay. So he is going to stick with like Bloodsport on the Mar. It's like sometimes we see the Victory Feast come out if you're trying to play for like elongated fights. And I wasn't sure if that was the idea here, but looks like they just want to use that arena to try and secure a kill instead. Prevent the fights from going longer against this Largo offlane.
30 seconds to battle.
Got a sneaky smoke wraparound. These heroes do have a good amount of damage if they find you.
Oh, ping's coming out. They do see the side of Falcons. The question is, which team do they want to actually engage? All right, sentries out. They know exactly what's going on here. They'll get themselves a very nice D ward to kick off the lane stage, and they're going to look to actually try and contest the rune here. Hex comes out, nice breathe fire there, onto 2. As there's going to be the shackles. Good avalanche, though, onto both supports, as they're going to be able to get quite a bit of damage out, but the Yanwell's just burning. Power shot comes through. It's not enough to get the kill, and Snake King will live because of possibly the most annoying innate in the game. Turns around, gets a shackle instead onto Jab. The damage stacking up. Q coming over as well. Deadshot off the mark. It's going to be 2 kills for the side of Falcons. As Q's now looking for crit. Gets the avalanche, but it's not enough. 3 for 0. Yikes!
You got the bounty rune, though. I think the math there, kind of close, maybe. Ricky, what do you? Is that close?
Bounty rune for 3 heroes, a pretty even trade.
No, that is a rough start from Nemesis, especially because they had the ward down first and they knew what was going on. Now it looks like top, they're gonna get a return kill onto Snake King at least, so a little bit of power going back towards Nemesis. I think you need 1 more kill to make the gold work out to have the balance start again, though. Okay, yeah. They also got the D ward. Well, actually, Crit also got a D ward, so never mind. I take it back.
That's a rough one. Coming to lane with 3 kills is pretty huge. I will say the one benefit of this is like they did come to lane with kind of like low resources on the side of Falcons. So they do end up getting that exchange there onto Snake King. But now that he's back in lane, full HP, full amount of resources, has like a Windlace, 2 salves in his pocket. Like, he's just ready to brawl in this lane now.
Did get the frog stomp out in time, though, so.
Yeah, that was nice.
Gonna be chilling. And like you said, Tiny just gonna be dragging here. Dragon Knight Shadow Shaman is at least not the most aggressive lane combo, but still, Largo's not that strong of a laner, especially after the opponent's got some first bloods. So just gonna likely see a lot of creep dragon here. Lord off dodging.
Animation's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna have to dodge a lot of those throughout this laning stage if he wants to make sure he doesn't give up a free kill, especially with a Mar on his team. You know, Mar's gonna roll his eyes if Lornoff gets sniped by a kill shot somewhere.
The bottom lane's going quite well for the Ursa at the moment. Now, as you get more levels on this Mars, I think it becomes a little bit easier, but it's just mostly because you can actually get more chip damage into the Ursa with like God's Rebuke and stuff. But the Phoenix did a really good job at kind of dishing out some damage in that level 1 time frame, but now has good lane positioning at the moment for the side of Falcons. We'll see if they can actually pull that wave back here on the side of Nemesis.
Yeah, Mars Muerta is a combo you have to be careful of as they pick up a couple levels like they have now, because you have so many like forced positionings that if you get caught in the calling and then it's like dead shot back, spear back, God's Rebuke, knock slow, it's really hard to get out of there. But for now, they're just using it to, like you said, keep the distance away because they've got the lane in a good spot. Amar just catching up in farm right now. Topside, Snake King falling pretty low.
Yeah, He's going to be able to get a good full duration shackle here. Another Hex into the foul play, but Jams will beat him down. And now Skitter, left very low in the lane, does have a salve. He'll pull from the backpack, try to reset himself. But this is, again, one of the reasons we see the Largo. Those 2 points Frog Stomp is so much damage, and you have a way to keep them in the Frog Stomp. So it's amazing.
Yeah, we've seen the best combos with Largo in the lane is damage and control to work with in the Frog Stomp, and that's exactly what Avalanche Toss is. It's a great early burst from a support, but also just like you are not leaving Frog Stomp. You know, like takes 5 seconds to get the damage out of Frog Stomp, and you are staying there for 5 seconds when everyone's throwing their spells.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We've seen a lot of good combos come out of it, and Tiny seems to be working out already. The mid lane, in terms of CS, pretty good. Like, Huskar is still doing solid, right? He's kind of winning in terms of denies and last hits, but for the Wind Ranger, it's relatively even. And all it really takes is one, like, kind of half rotation across the map to line up a, like, some sort of, like, power shot, and you get just get yourself a kill. Snake King, we're just seeing this combo firsthand once again, and he's hobbling his way back to the tower. It's just one more swing there from Q. Brings down that Shadow Shaman again.
That was a really long arm of Tiny there reaching that kill. That was across the tree line.
Yeah, he just really dug deep to get his ultimate just for a moment. A little bit of extra growth on that arm.
Pretty well here, picking up a lot of denies at least. So Mac doesn't. It's kind of close. Maybe he'll hit 6 by the 6-minute power rune spawn coming up, but I think he's gonna fall just a little short.
Yeah, if Wind Ranger manages to hit level 6, like for the rune fight, it's really scary for the Huskar. We'll see Snake King's rotation over. We're actually going to see Crit in the bottom lane as well. The first power rune spawns top, arcane rune, so not much going to come of this.
Snake King got the D ward though. Had his ward set up first, so they saw Q place in his own. Wards top, I guess, to see those rotations from the Shadow Shaman.
Nice dead shot there from Crit. Puts Janwell in a really rough spot. And the shackles come through after the TP. That should be a kill for Amar. You mentioned it, man. Anytime you overextend, you got to be very careful of the repositioning. And Crit hit it absolutely perfect.
Dragon Knight on his own now. I mean, you can do that, right? Dragon Knight's a very safe laner. Largo's not that scary on his own. So it's going to be a lot of pressure down here on 23. He's been farming well, but, I mean, you got to respect 3 heroes here, especially with the amount of control from those 3 heroes. You might not get to move for 7 seconds in a row. Or maybe you're doing a lot of moving between Deadshot and Spear, but not of your own volition.
Yeah, not with your own will.
Man, the wards from Falcons paying off big so far. See the Tiny ward come down. Now Mac thought about going bottom with Focus Fire, but scattered with the ward. Not much going to come of it. I think it's also a little late for the Wisdom Shrine anyways. Maybe that's the real mix-up. You know, it's like, oh, he's not going. Surprise, the late rotation.
I am curious when we're going to start seeing the mid laners get involved, because right now they're both just kind of chilling. Like with Huskar, he does definitely need to hit specific items, right? But with Wind Ranger, to me, it's the level 7 mark where you're going to have the 4 points in your power shot where this can now kill heroes. So, shield rune as well. But the double rune wards, like in the river, make it really difficult for Mac to actually make it to a side lane.
Yeah, I like the idea too, though, because like if you think about it, it's got to be Mac, right? Ursa is farming; he's the carry. Of course, he's gonna farm. And then Largo, not the most active offlaner because you really need the Ags. That's when you start to shine. So you mostly just farm and focus on that. So it's got to be Wind Ranger. And if Wind Ranger doesn't make these rotations, like she's jungling as Wind Ranger, right? Like that's not that impressive. So if you don't, if you don't see her in one of your 2 side lane wards, you're like, oh, don't worry, right? Like what's the point? Let her jungle. We're jungling faster than her, so who cares? We're still winning.
She's jungling as like max power shot Wind Ranger, right? Which is not nearly as good as, you know, the carrier Wind Ranger variants we've seen, going the Tangle Facet, picking up like a Maelstrom, right? She has good lane shove with power shot right now and needs to be able to use it. We're just not really seeing much outside of that, and Lorna is very much taking advantage of it in the jungle right now, clearing up massive stacks in the triangle. Already took down the Ancient stack, looking at the hard camp now. And this is where you wish you had a ward in this triangle, because if you did, this is a kill from 2,000 meters.
That would be very nice. That would boost your farm for sure, which, despite kill shot, yet to find a kill on this Wind Ranger. I guess it's not too bad, because I mean, the timing and the synergy between Largo, Wind Ranger, Ursa, when they do get to the items, like that's going to be really good, as long as Falcons hasn't rolled you by then with their earlier lineup, which so far they're also mostly farming. But I say that as Amar walking over to the mid lane, no blink,
10-minute rune,
just here for the rune.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him, right? The arena is pretty much a kill secure on the rune. It does spawn bottom. He just yoinks the haste. Huskar not interested at all in this. Just goes back to bottom. I do like the build on Amar as well that he's going for. We see this quite often in the Mars versus Ursa matchup, whereas you just want to Yules. Like the Ursa really desperately needs to be able to get value out of the Enrage, and Mars can just either put the arena around him, typically as like a first counter, but the second is you just have Yules, and if you see him pop the Enrage, just throw him into the air, waste the whole duration.
It's also pretty good versus Wind Ranger and even Phoenix. Largo too. I mean, like you stop him from playing the song, you set up your stun. It's a pretty solid Yules game.
To bring in the Tiny in the bottom. Huge. They saw him use the spear away already. There's gonna be the avalanche, the toss, the Sunray is there, and Amar should burn down to this one. The hot spot doing some work there, and Phoenix now on the board, level 6. Good call there from Q.
Also a good move from Jabs, because as we were watching the Tiny teleport, he was doing it from behind a tree, and Jabs was about to pull the creep wave to him and then stopped and turned around as if like, oh, pay no mind to me, I'm just like killing a creep right now. But it was to stop giving vision of the Tiny teleporting, which is what caught Mars off guard. So good team play all around to get another kill there. See if they can do a sneaky fast move for the smoke, but maybe Urza's in a little too deep now.
23 getting a little caught out underneath the tower. Was he just diving for crit is what this was and just dies for it?
Is under attack.
I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know who else he was going for. So Enrage was spent. Just gets speared to cancel a TP, and in the process, they were smoking top. So your Ursa was completely alone. A little bit of a miscommunication there potentially.
Yeah, that's playing like you still have the supports behind you, but they actually let. I mean, maybe that's part of the bait, you know, that ended up backfiring. But maybe this will work out. Another Mars kill would be nice.
Yeah, you have Egg, and he cannot get away from these heroes. There comes the Shackle, power shot, very easy kill here to set this one up. Actually, somehow managed to dodge the kill shot there, but a little bit tankier than we thought. 4 heroes in the bottom lane, though, for this, so little bit of a large rotation. Jabs Q should be able to go back through the Twin Gate if they want.
Jabs is a little less than halfway to his ag, so honestly, you're not trying to force too much right now, but you're happy to take these like small moves.
That's one heck of an amplify damage timing for Lorna. While this goes on bottom, he just finds an amplify damage and takes the mid tower from a full to 0. All right, yeah. So what happened here? He actually just didn't have Enrage at all. Okay, Crit. Never mind. Crit's just a gamer, dude. I don't know. This guy's too good.
That's a really nice dead shot.
I'm really glad we got to see that instead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It was looking at that creep wave and the catapult. It's understandable why he wants to push. At the same time, his team is like making a move. I kind of feel like maybe you don't. But then again, if you don't push with that wave, again, it's suspicious. It's like, why aren't they pushing with this wave? They were just down here. So it's, I think it is like I'm trying to bait so that the play top works out, but Falcons reads it, and you end up on the wrong side of that play.
Yeah. Nice rotation bottom to trade for the tier 1 towers. Falcons being very efficient on the map right now, right? Slight gold advantage. Still 5-5 as we're going to see the 14-minute Wisdom Shrines popping up here in a moment, and 14-minute Power Rune spawning top here for Mac and Invis. Not the best.
Radiant are
But they scan out the Roche. They know. It's already dead, man. I did not think it was going to die that fast. Okay, well, Lorinov now has himself an Aegis at 14 minutes. Mid lane and Arena out from Amar is going to pin down the Wind Ranger as Crit comes through as well. Hits him with the calling to help secure this kill. Not only getting that Roche, but a follow-up kill in the process. Pretty massive.
That's another nice part about the Arena, right? Not only is it good at blocking out the focus fire damage, but you got the win run, but you can't actually get out of that Arena, so you will die eventually.
Yeah, Lorna's build is so good, actually. The itemization coming out from the side of Falcons is very specifically tailored to counter like any early game aggression. If they get a pipe here at any like reasonable time, I very much worry for the Nemesis team to actually put out damage in these fights. It's like with Crimson Guard, now the Atos, the Yules, like who actually can deal damage? Top side, 23, going a little bit too far. Spear will hold him back. They want to try and maybe turn this around though. This Phoenix is just burning Skitter alive. He's now on full retreat. Snaking's gonna walk in, sacrifice himself here, going for the shackles, but might actually get more out of it as they do. They turn it around. The egg is down. It's going to get cleaned up. Lorinov now turns to the Tiny. It's a massacre. 3 dead on Nemesis. For nothing. Snake King lives through it all.
I mean, just before this fight, you were talking about pipe. They don't really have a pipe builder on their team, but Dragon Knight decides to go for Mage Slayer, which we don't see as much now, but that it is the same effect as pipe, essentially, when you hit that many heroes. So all that damage output, it's just not that much. Even though it was like 4-on-1 for a little bit on the Dragon Knight, then you try to turn on the Shadow Shaman, and you just can't actually kill them fast enough for the rest of Falcons to make it to the rest of the fight.
Dude, this is honestly why you just give Skitter Dragon Knight. Like, to be just it's just one of the best players in terms of knowing the limits of the hero, knowing exactly what he should be building. That's just another clean kill from this offlane duo. Crit in a lot of trouble here. Is going to pop the Pierce the Veil. The Yules onto the Tiny. The Spear back, making plenty of space. And through it all, they will live. Lornov's going to dive in. Hits the Atos through the silence. Doesn't quite clip the Tiny, but it sets up the kill nonetheless onto Mac. He's going to go down underneath that tier 2 tower. And they will continue to hunt for more. Zamar looking for his target, but won't find it. And with this Aegis, they still have 2 minutes left. And Lorinov is absolutely just going to be playing on this front line. Very aggressive.
I mean, honestly, Skitter's doing it too. He's like, yeah, I mean, they clearly can't kill me, so I'll also push the tower with the Corrosive Breath. Really good Aegis so far for Falcons. They're already up to an 8K lead, soon to shoot up to 9K once this tier 2 falls, and it's only 17 minutes into the game. It's feeling pretty fast, and Snake King running through this river looking for Ursa.
He's gonna find Q as well as, you know, 23. The Hex actually catches the Ursa as he gets thrown in, shackled inside of the calling into a Dragon Tail. This guy's got nowhere to go, and oh my god, Snake King's wards just trap Q. What a painful death.
Yeah, he even knew. Usually you'd prioritize the Ursa, but he's like, oh yeah, he's dead. I'm going to make sure I turn around and also kill Q, cancel his teleport, get everything out of this. You lose a crit for it, but I mean, that's a small price to pay to get another kill onto Ursa. which
And the tier 2.
he was having a good start. Now we look at these net worths. I mean, he's so far down. It's not just him, right? All of Nemesis is kind of struggling here. Maybe the support net worth is okay for this point in the game, but they're not. Well, I was gonna say they're not high damage supports. Phoenix usually is, but it's not really enough in this game, especially with the Mage Slayer out.
So he did go Maelstrom on the Wind Ranger, and this is where I have been kind of not sold by a mid Wind Ranger, and I know the idea is that it at least gives you like a better matchup into the Huskar, but I would rather like sack my lane and have like a hero that contributes more right now at this stage of the game than a mid Wind Ranger with like only a Maelstrom, right? Like it doesn't feel super value, and we're gonna see that as Amar and Skinner just get a glimpse of these two, trap them in the arena, find themselves 2 more kills. The blinks are a problem. Everything's
not just
a
the
problem.
blinks. Yeah, I was about to say, it feels like that. I think that there's more problems than just the blink. Huskar might be one of them. Pretty good toss back, but can you actually turn this into a kill, or is Lorinov just, thank you, I didn't build a blink this game, so that was really kind of you to send me to your team.
I appreciate the restraint here and not diving the tower here for, you know, for the sake of killing the tower. Like, you don't have Dragon Form up. You already dropped your wards. Like, you kind of just don't have arena anything either. So they'll take the kill. They'll back off. They see the Largo Ags, right? You don't really want to fight into the Largo Ags on the high ground either.
I'm not even sure. I mean, this truly limit testing. If this Ags can turn this game around, I mean, it's definitely broken, but it feels a bit late, especially compared to what Falcons has and your 12K down, right? Like, this Ags is finishing and BKBs are around the corner for Falcons. So what's it gonna do? I also see he has the Kaya queued up, which you usually do want to do, but I think you have to do BKB. Otherwise, I think you're just getting controlled in these fights and you're not even playing the song.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios. It feels like he's going to try and hope that he's allowed to just play the songs in the back and not get jumped. Like, I imagine that's just the idea here. Crit, very close, but they will grab the Tormentor. Goes to Snaking. Very early shard pickup highlighted from our production team here on the Mars. And this is really powerful this game. The double spear in the arena, also just to follow up a Yule's, is great. They aren't smoked up here on Nemesis. Gonna look for any low heroes. Maybe splitting off after the Tormentor, but they've actually all just TP'd to the base. And Amar instead might be trying to scout something out. No. Zizki is gonna back away. Falcons playing really like clean Dota at the moment, kind of what we're used to on this squad, right? They don't really make a lot of mistakes, and they just kind of whittle away at your ability to win against them. And now with a 14,000 lead, they've got Roche potentially respawning in just 30 seconds. And a second Aegis at this stage of the game for Falcons probably is the nail in the coffin for Nemesis if they can get it cleanly.
Pretty sure you do. I'm trying to imagine, like, how would you
Phoenix
go about
and Largo.
contesting Roche, which you have to try, I think.
Yeah.
But I think you get arena. Like, you don't have the BKBs on Nemesis, right? So if that's a one-way trip into Roche pit, and you better win that fight. And
they have the BKBs now
you're-
on Falcons.
Yeah, you're 15K behind. It is a long Roche spawn, so maybe Wind Ranger can finish hers. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're gonna be running into, man. Like, I don't know. Even with the help of Roche disarming all of them, I don't know if that's enough time to win the fight for Nemesis.
I feel like a Phoenix versus a Dragon is an unfair comparison.
Okay, you know, I'll give you that one. Carry versus position 5, you know, usually a little imbalanced.
Or just lore, you know, it's just like, yeah, you know, one's kind of a hot bird, the other one's a dragon. Not
Okay,
great.
I'm not a lore guy. Isn't Phoenix, like, special as far as Phoenix goes?
Yeah, it's
Isn't
just a
Dragon
warm-
Knight just like a dragon guy? Isn't that like relatively lower on the? Isn't that lower on the
Let me
Dota
have
lore
this.
powers?
Let me have this, okay? Ursa top side. He's never gonna get a chance to press a button here. This is a full CC, 100-0. And this is the problem of the state of the game. Like, when you're this far back, there's really no place safe because of how easy the Blink Initiation Q is going to get his Blink Dagger reveal here into the mid lane. On to Lord up, but he's got the Crimson Guard. His own BKB now looking to just turn it around, take down Q as a punishment. The Blinken from the Dragon Knights even going to find themselves another. And guess what? The Shackles are there. Here's the Veil popped. Everything dumped into the Largo. He's even got an Atos. 4 dead across the map as Falcons... happy that Nemesis brought the fight to them. They will take it every day of the week.
Guys, you don't have creeps yet. They won that fight right in front of the base, but all the creeps are back, so they're all just running up tanking the tower. They're just so confident right now. I mean, that was about as good of a fight as Nemesis could find. I say fight. It was really it was a pick-off attempt. It was 3-on-1. Avalanche, Shackle. We talked about the combo between Largo and Wind Ranger, right? Like, you had a lot of things going your way, but what you don't have is the net worth lead, and you just could not. That was tickling Huskar. I mean, he almost has more net worth than both the cores involved combined. So, yeah, just not enough. Pretty good BKB value for the first use, and it gets you Roche. You are all up, but I mean, you know Nemesis is in the base, and they're not going to make it here in time.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't spend any of the Mars spells. Like, that whole fight happened without the Mars. So, I don't think they're very too interested in looking for the engagement, which Mars is just using his haste room, kind of having some fun, cheesy stuff in the top side. They will just bring down the Ursa, the double spear onto the Tiny, and crit just mows them down. This is a little out of control now. I mean, I don't know why I added now. I could have said without that, but...
It's been 25 minutes of out of control behavior. Going all the way back, back to that starting boundary runes, it was a triple kill for Falcons. And, I mean, Nemesis struck back, relatively quickly. They got a couple kills, and they're like, okay, maybe they can still turn this around, but... I think it really comes back down to, like, they can't find anything with this Wind Ranger. The warding from Falcons stopped all the successful rotations. There was only, like, 1 or 2, I guess, that, like, paid off. And, I mean, yeah, 6 kills. Like, those are the rotation that paid off for Nemesis, and there hasn't really been anything since then. You're now 26 minutes, 20k down.
Oh, there they go.
Pretty good.
He should die here. He should die. Now, does have the age, so he's going to respawn with a BKB if he needs it. They're going to jump right in. Yule's onto the Ursa, spears him into the wall. Lorna still holding the BKB until absolutely necessary. Instead, they just delete the Ursa. Just, how dare you walk forward into our team?
I mean, lore-wise, that's just a bear, It
is true. That is true. What if power scaling in this game was actually lore specific?
I think we should, like April Fool's Day, just like lore power scale.
The team that clicks Ancient Apparition first, or Enigma, or the Weaver, just instantly wins the game.
Fundamental heroes, yeah. Nemesis will hope for that for game number 2, because game number 1, they're hanging on as long as they can, but it is not looking good. Okay, let's try to come up with something. You Huskar ult someone, they drag you back, they toss you back, catchy lick you into the fountain, and you're shackled like earlier somehow. I don't know to what, but you're stunned, so you die to fountain. That's one.
I feel like if Ursa gets BKB, there are like some opportunities for 23 to have some sort of impact in this game. But like right now, there is legitimately no Ursa. Like Ursa cannot do anything. He is unbelievably countered. There's 4 hard stuns that pretty much remove him from the game. And then,
Shaman
multiple silences. Yeah, and then just multiple silences. So like Ursa needs his BKB. Like, that is step 1. Let Ursa get BKB, and there's just 5 heroes in the bottom lane. Like, watching the Ursa farm. Like, okay, he's almost there, guys. Actually, I just looked at his net worth. He's actually not almost there.
He's halfway there, guys.
He's like halfway there.
Keep doing this for 3 more minutes.
Meanwhile, Huskar's boarded
Falcons.
by his boots of travel.
Meanwhile, you can see Falcons covering the map. So it's like, yeah, give the Ursa farm bottom, whatever. We've got 3 times the amount of farm everywhere else.
I cannot believe he bought boots of travel over like an Aghanim Scepter component. That's wild to me, but I guess like the idea is he just wants to be able to run down these heroes in fights, so that he is going to be very fast with Sanji Asha and a, you know, boots of travel. He's going to be zooming.
I mean, it's allowing him to play back here, right? This is very Falcons-esque play style, where if you try to all play up front, you lose access to the farm near your base. But on the map, you can see Lorinov in the back with his boots of travels, and he'll just join his team whenever they find something.
Almost to the Bloodthorn, I think. Is that what he's going for on Dragon Knight here?
Yeah, being delivered right now. That'll give you
yeah.
some true strike, at least before the BKB comes out on the Wind Ranger. And otherwise,
I think he's still
it'll
going to
let you
build
kill.
MKB.
I don't think he'll need another item, to be honest. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you can
think
build.
that's
You
fair.
can build MKB after this if you want. You got a boots of travels over there, right? Like we're doing whatever in here. So
Dire are
Q escorting Mr. Ursa to the camp, hoping that they find something, and they will. It's going to be crit. And no, he still lives. Oh my god. There is nothing that can mentally prepare you for that moment.
I don't know. I think being 30k down for 30 minutes probably does prepare you for that moment a little bit. Unfortunately, oh, Lorinov doing it. Bring him to.
They're stuck inside the arena. They do have the BKB on Mac though, and the focus fire is doing some work here to Lorna, but that Crimson Guard allowing them to back away, and well, Skitter's just gonna jump in, Bloodthorn, Silence onto the Largo. They drop the egg to try and heal. Lorna's gonna turn his attention to try and finish it off with Skitter coming through. They get the kill. It's gonna be 2 dead on Nemesis. They did get their first kill in about 20 minutes onto the Muerta though. I think it's literally been 20 minutes since they've got a kill.
It's been a long amount of time, yeah, and took 2 attempts to kill crit. First down in that river, and then in front of your high ground. You get something. I mean, for the state of the game, is that might actually be a gold worthwhile trade. I think it is. I think crit was worth more than, yeah, both Jabs and Genuel.
Okay.
That's not.
Yeah, crit
that's not
died
good.
at 15 minutes, so it's been 15 minutes of
Crit just
no
feeding
kills.
over here,
Yeah.
just giving all the kills.
Unbelievable.
What is he doing? He's gonna get a talking to from AUI later.
Skater grabs himself the Tormentor, actually giving the shard to crit.
much
Normally
does he have?
not a shard you want, but he
12.
probably has a lot of Pierce the Veil stacks, so
He's at 12 right now. Oh,
yeah,
man.
that is a lot of damage amp now. Bots 2. Okay, I was joking in my head. I was like, obviously he's going to build bots 2 now. And turns out he does. Here's your Pierce the Veil. He's just going to look to try and find
Bots
the kill
2
here.
right
And
there.
with the bots 2, we'll easily do it. Up to
I mean-
14 stacks on Muerta now.
If you think about it, his next item is Satanic. What? Does he need the Satanic? You know, like, he's not even died yet into kill shot. That was like, you know, something that they picked to deal with it. The BKB and the Crimson Guard has been enough to keep him alive, along with Armlet toggling. So it's like, why would I get another defensive Satanic item, you know? Let me get this Boots
Amar.
of Travels farming around and, like, min-max farming. And Falcons was like, we love that. Yeah, do that.
That's so fast. People die so fast. Amar has a Scythe now as well, so in case there wasn't enough control on the side of Falcons, they're just going to basically double it up.
Here comes the bush. Crit's getting it. He's the I mean, like, yeah, I'm practically carrying Muerta. I'm getting in here.
Why not? Why not? Ignore the Ursa. Who cares that he's like cutting waves back there, you know?
You don't
What's
need
he
that
gonna
creep
do?
wave. Yeah, you got one more creep wave coming in. That's enough.
Yeah, you got your mid wave is at the tier 4s, right? Like, you're chilling. Top side, looking for the last tier 3 tower. They're gonna pop the fortification. Kind of respect this for the moment, but I like the. How do you start the fight on Nemesis? What hero do you actually go for?
You can't really kill any of the cores, but Mars, I can't believe I'm saying it, is probably the easiest core to kill. And I think you have to take out the crowd control first. This Mars and the Shadow Shaman. If you try to kill any of the others, like the cores, the carry in the mid, not only are they so tanky, but then you're going to be controlled up by Shaman and Mars.
Yeah.
So you're not actually going to get to do your damage anyways. All right, they got 23 here with the BKB we talked about. Full team smoke, looking out, but the creeps are about to make it to the base. It's getting pretty. I see the lines being drawn from even Nemesis. They know like something has to happen like
They're
right
gonna try
now.
and sneak Roche.
Tower is under
Can they sneak the Roche on? Do they know about this? Oh, they're gonna see crit. Wait, does he? He's just hiding in the trees perfectly. Oh my gosh, he gets the blink into the force tap out. Crit safe. They turn around. There's the X reveal. They take down the Phoenix, and now Ursa will join him. It's GG. They know. They tap out. This one is done, baby. Falcons. An absolute beast mode performance here to start the day for them.
All off that Huskar pick roll. And besides the Ember Spirit and I guess like Hoodwink using Sharpshooter to get out of the ice shards, like the others don't have that much mobility. And I think if Muerta's in a good position, she can do the damage, especially with the, Largo providing some extra move speed, perhaps. Keep close for the damage, then Bull Belly Blitz when she's, attacking. I can kind of see it working, but like you said, I do worry a little bit. Ooh, double smoke right into each other.
We saw what happened last time. Yeah, they're like, never mind. Don't give up the triple kill this time, guys.
Yeah, that's a really bad position for Nemesis since they're on the low ground into the high ground. So that's a good call to get out of there. That is unfortunate for them. They will lose the Observer right off the bat. At least no triple kill behind it, though, which is the bigger issue.
All right, we'll see. I mean, 23 is like a very, he's got a lot of experience on the Muerta. In the patches where she was viable, 23 did play her quite a bit. So
I also think he's really good at the hyper carry type heroes.
Yeah.
And Muerta, for all you said, like she is slow, but the late game Muerta is hyper carry.
Yeah, it really is. She can dish out damage in the late game. My biggest concern with this hero is you look at her and you're like, oh, she pressed Pierce the Veil. Let's just walk away, and there's definitely the ability to do that, but we'll see what they can do on Nemesis to try and keep heroes in range of the Muerta. Like you mentioned a few different ways, so if they can make that happen, I think Muerta might be enabled for a good game, but
it should be easier for Falcons. I'm trying to make the case for Nemesis, but I do agree with you. I think it is a little tough. We'll see if he can start in the mid lane. Mac is counter-picked here, so it'll be rough, but Storm Spirit will have a much easier time being active than a Wind Ranger with Killshot, so that's already something they've got going for them. Whereas last time in the side lanes, right, you had a Largo off lane, he can't really make plays. Brewmaster's kind of similar, where he doesn't really want to like move around too much until you have the ult, but depending on what his item build he ends up going for, right, sometimes they just end up farming for a while as well. And these supports, Tusk and Largo, they need someone to play with, and Storm Spirit can be that hero.
yeah. So Storm's gonna kind of win the lane for the first 3 levels or so, but then it gets really out of hand. Oh boy! All right,
He's just gonna die after taking the
Amar's
creep.
dead, but he does get the Harpy, so we'll see what he can get done with this. He immediately will come back to lane full meta and just start spam Chain Lightning heroes. I'm curious if they want to adjust the build now to give him more mana regen to play around this, but first blood in this bottom lane for Nemesis is already a substantially better start than what we saw last game. Oh, okay.
Here come the lightnings.
Here it comes. Amar looking for the first blood, or the first kill in the bottom lane, gonna turn for 23, and if he gets vision, he's gonna take him down, and Crit just setting up both of these heroes here for those kills. Swings this bottom lane back in their favor as the creep wave's under the tower, so they will miss the full wave.
That was a large wave too. That worked out really well for Amar. He sees the heartbeat, he's like, I'm gonna die for this, I'm gonna come back, die with a huge wave, and that will balance out the gold in our favor. Topside jab getting low, but thanks to the tankiness of Brew, he's out. Snake King might actually
Nice
die
snowball.
here instead.
Good decision to go for the snowball in this lane, just so that you have a little bit of an interrupt against the Shadow Shaman, but again, very good against the foul play.
Actually, so far, Mac doing pretty well here. Better time than into a Huskar. He'll definitely take this counter pick compared to dealing with Huskar.
It's expected, right? Like, this is supposed to be Storm Spirit favored until kind of like level 5 onward, when like you really start to take the advantage. Bottom lane, the damage from these spell combos. A nice catchy look there. Will maybe end up saving 23. He's gonna pop the salve. He's looking for the bushwhack, but I don't think Crit wants to try and risk wasting the mana for it, so he will back away.
We're seeing that chain lightning cause so many problems here, though.
Yeah.
Well, it does cancel really well salve. He got a good amount of value out of it at least, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna ruin his time.
I mean, Huerta is CSing all right, you know, 14-1. It's not that bad. Kind of even with the Doom. It's just, I don't know how, like, this lane doesn't really get easier for them. Huerta is my main concern. Here at the river, they are looking to bring down Snake King. Will do it, but it's a trade for Mac as Lorinov
Dire's middle tower is under
will
attack.
get the kill. Now just gonna beeline bottom potentially for that water rune. Does not want Q to take it, but he's got boots. He will beat him there on the foot race, so no bottle refill there for the Ember. Almost level 6 though, so does eventually get his bottle refill for free that way.
Sure, the kill will help him get the. This is a really early 6 actually. Off of that kill.
Yeah, that solo XP, I guess, against Mac is pretty big.
Yeah. Right before that happened, you were mentioning how bottom lane's pretty even. It would have gone better for the Muerta, right, to continue sort of making a case for her. That double kill into that huge wave really wrecked them, killed a lot of their momentum, because he was laning pretty well here, but getting killed, losing that huge creep wave,
Yeah, they lost
really
a lot
set
of
them
experience. Like, it can't be understated how much of an XP loss that was. Like, not necessarily an XP gain for the Doom. Like, he didn't really get like that much out of it because he was dead and missed like half a wave himself, but they lost like a double wave under the tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
His Brewmaster's
Bottom lane.
struggling a little bit right now too.
He's coming through, looking for crit. He does have a bushwhack to try and make some space, and Amar's just burning the other two instead. Now bushwhack only catches one. Quite a bit of AoE damage though coming in from the scorched earth, but the calling gonna force them back a little bit.
This is ridiculous. Amar sees
so
3
tanky.
heroes and he's like, I've got chain lightning, go in.
Look at his item
Kind of
build.
won that trade.
Yeah. He's got his raindrops, double bracers, and a wand. Like, he is so tanky right now. He will stand his ground, absolutely. And this is just typically how Amar likes to play. Crit, pulled out of position there with a really nice dead shot. The shards off the mark, but pulled back in with a catchy lick, and they should get the kill, taking down the Hoodwink finally.
They need something for, because they spend a lot of time down there. Brewmaster's having to like do some creep drag shenanigans on his own. Snaking, just messing with him. So Brewmaster's struggling for this. You had to get something going bottom.
Uh-oh. Is Amar... Dude, there's no way he just gets a solo kill. He does. Oh, no. But TPing, though, from Mac. Does have a little bit of mana left here on the Storm Spirit. One more Remnant should be enough. No, he just gets the stick off quite tanky still. Raindrop's gonna buy a little bit more time. Goes for one more chain lightning to get 23. Almost gets the surprise kill there, but
Radiant are scanning.
a nice TP rotation here from Mac.
Largo's going to deliver to south to 23 as well, so he's going to get to stay here. Yeah, Mar knows. He's like, okay. Oh, Current going to cancel it. Is he going to get the kill, too?
Dude,
Catchy
it's
lick saves his
close. Yeah, the catchy lick dispelling the blood grenade. Oh, it didn't actually. Not a 9 HP though.
They're going to know there's some kind of ward there. We'll see if they can grab it later. That will force 23 home, which means once again, there's a creep wave coming and he's going to miss it. The times he's been killed or forced to go back have been quite painful. Storm here.
He's got no mana to play with, really. Okay, did have a stick available. He's going to be okay for now. Looking to maybe bait Lorna, but does have a remnant to safety. Snake King's going to get trapped inside the shards. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Amar and Crit looking to just dive to Largo. Finish the job. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, the Ember's got an amplify damage. Looks to get the kill. Will Remnant back to safety, but there's going to be the chase. The regen! It's so close. Oh, that hurts.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Dude, he must have jumped in with that amplify damage like a half second before that regen rune spawned or something. Or maybe he thought he grabbed it and didn't. I'm not quite sure.
It still kind of works out for him. They once again kill Storm Spirit first, so Ember coming out pretty ahead in these fights. With that said, Storm's been farming pretty well, and I don't know, kind of finding kills, kind of losing them, the Galvanize stacks, which is what you really want from these kills, is more Galvanize stacks. They're going to try again. They're going top, looking for the Shadow Fiend, but I think Tusk passive might have shown on the creeps. I think Skitter might know.
I mean, he can't come to the lane anyway. We talked about the effect of the Brewmaster. Like, the second he's level 6, he's essentially created a kill lane. It's kind of like how Doom works. Like, Doom makes it so Muerta can't be in her lane either against the Doom 1v1. Like, both these heroes create a similar scenario, so now it's up to, like, supports to rotate, try and find openings elsewhere, and Amar with the speed aura just runs away here, but Crit stuck in the trees as well as the shards. Really nicely done there from Q.
Q's on
So
fire
they're finding
this game.
something with the rotations, yeah. Absolutely.
tower is under attack.
But you're not finding the cores. Like, at the end of the day, like, all 3 cores on Falcons are farming, and they're at the top of the net worth right now.
Yeah, they've got more natural farming speed as well compared to the counterpart. That was kind of rude, Lorna. Just sniper core here and get out.
I mean, the urn is done. The vessel is just... It's a little bit a ways, but it is going to be such a massive pickup for them this game. A bottled up illusion rune here for Mac actually gets him out of the searing chains, but he'll be fine. Lorna still had a remnant to safety if he needed it. He was just kind of playing the limit there.
Been a lot of action mid so far. Not a lot of it leading to, well, some of them leading to kill, some of them just everyone backing away from after using everything. Amar looking for that solo kill you talked about, perhaps.
He's just going to use it
settle
on
for a support
Yanuel.
Largo.
Well, yeah, I think he was maybe expecting to dive, but his Scorched Earth was actually half the duration spent. And seeing maybe the Storm Spirit missing, doesn't want to commit too far.
All right, you'll take that for Nemesis. I mean, that's doomed down, and like you said, that kind of scares you away from the lane. You shove it and then just back off. But now that you know it's out of the picture, you can play more aggressively in the lane, or you can at least leave 23 alone, right? And you can see Largo head. Well, actually, I thought he was heading through the Twin Gate, but actually he stuck around a little longer.
They're looking for Mac mid here, and they have the damage if they can get them. There's going to be the Searing Change into the Sharpshooter. Just barely gets out. Nicely done. Lorna should, okay, I was going to say should be able to escape, but no, perfect spell layering there on top of, that Frog Stomp gets the kill. Top lane, they lose jabs, so Requiem into the Shackles. Pretty good combo. We've seen that one before.
Yeah, he's farming up that Midas. He actually did build it in time, so he didn't lose too much gold for that death. And Mac now heading top as well. The supports have done a lot this game for Nemesis.
Radiant's top tower.
Again, not fully converting on as many core kills as they would like. They have managed to get the Ember a couple times, though, I will say, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Side lanes are starting to really climb, though. They'd like to find a kill there if they could, but the runes keep going to Lornoff. I don't think Mac has had one yet.
He got an illusion rune.
Yeah, but that's like
That
the
was
worst.
about
Okay,
it.
yeah,
And
that's
then
the
they like
worst one
denied
for
the
Storm.
regen rune or whatever. But yeah, nothing, no like power runes. When it comes to
Arcane Rune
Ember,
is still in
though,
the picture. Maybe you can get that
yeah,
and do something.
Arcane Rune should be next. Have we seen Haste? We haven't seen Haste, so it's like Arcane
Haste,
or Haste.
Invis, Arcane.
Yeah. So when it comes to Ember, this is a hero that legitimately doesn't really need that much net worth. Like, we've seen games where Ember is like the poorest of the 6 cores and still doing the most damage and having the most impact in fights. So when your Ember is like relatively even and it's a good Ember game, I do worry, you know, about what he's going to be able to accomplish around this time. And he didn't exactly find the Largo here in the bottom lane. Good catchy lick to remove some of the damage. The Doom comes out, manages to catch the Muerta underneath the tower. They get the Sharpshooter as well. A lot of damage, trying to TP to safety. He does just TP out. The Searing Chain's not quite there. Amar is dead. Searing Chain's out onto 3, but he's deep underneath the enemy lines here. Bushwhack does connect, but with the Bruise split, there's nowhere left to go. Shadow Shaman looking to join the fray. Even Skitter coming through now. Requiem just veers them away. It's going to be offlaner for offlaner.
Radiant's bottom
They will full retreat now. Look to turn their attention to the tier 1 tower. I forgot he had the shield rune the whole time. I guess Catchy Lick, right? We saw him immediately dispel Flame Guard, so.
Yeah, and if that didn't exist, I think Ember might have actually gotten quite a few kills there, because although you lost the Doom, like, everyone was starting to burn down. But the Ember Guard getting taken out of the picture helps to reduce the damage a lot, so not the worst in terms of trading heroes, but you do lose a tower for it, and that means all the tier 1s are now down for Nemesis, whereas Falcons has all of theirs, and they're fairly healthy. Maybe that top safe lane's like half, but it means it's hard to make these plays now, because as you try to, anywhere you go, they're going to be able to rotate on you. So we're going to need to see Nemesis like make a concentrated effort, not just reactively, but actually take some of these towers to balance the gold a little bit, to give themselves more space to make plays. Otherwise, it's going to be a classic Falcons fashion. You know, it's like, hey, we got more of the map, time to just farm up a gold lead.
Yeah. I mean, they're up to 4,000 gold advantage now. Snake King very close to his Blink Dagger, which is going to cause some serious issues for them this game. They're looking to come through the Twin Gate at the moment, topside. Look for potentially that Shackle into Shadow Fiend kill. Jabs, no ultimate anyway, so we'll see if he has the duration here with the wards to trap him. It should be enough. Raise 1, raise 2. Gets the Catchy Lick to safety, so he's going to be okay. Just back away. Good save there from Yanwell. Now, I do worry because Doom at one point had Cloak Aura queuing up Pipe. I think he's going back for Midas now instead first. So he will still get the Pipe eventually, but Amar just looking like he wants to kind of stay on top of the scaling charts here.
I think he's seen Brewmaster's Midas. He's like, I want one of those as well. And although he wants the auras, I do think like if he gets the gold for a refresher later on, that's gonna be really good, because there's so many good Doom targets this game. Brewmaster, Storm, Largo. Honestly, you take out Tusk, no save, that's good. Muerta can't transform. She loses like half her damage in a fight.
This is a big rune. This is a really big rune. We'll see which one it's going to end up being. It's the haste for Mac. He grabs it. The shackles are there. Requiem being held on the top side.
Ends up whiffing.
Yeah, ends up whiffing, but Amar has made his rotation in now, looking for a target. Can't really find one, and they will back away. Meaning the last rune will be Arcane. So we know Arcane is the next rune. We knew it was either Haste or Arcane this time, which is why we see such an emphasis from the two teams trying to find it.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan
23
connects.
knows he's in trouble.
Do they have the catch here? They're going to go for the snowball. Amar is pretty fast with the phase boots, the drums, the actives. Shards will connect. They got him. Nice chase there, good punish. Great TP in from those scans. Top side, they force the ultimate out of jabs, but he will be able to survive just fine.
That's a good call. They knew they were looking for 23. A Doom on him could be a kill, but good positioning behind a tree, early ult, so that even if he does get doomed, it's no big deal. And the support's already there to help provide the control to finish the kill. And you mentioned Morta's, you know, kind of a slow hero. She's not too far behind the SF as we get into the mid game, and you know, with a kill onto Doom, you know, you get a little space. You got the Maelstrom already going, Dragonlance finish, so she's starting to reach those item timings she wants. Morta's like a 3-item kind of carry. That's when she starts to get really scary. Still a little bit behind SF though, who did have a very nice start. Speeding up, trying to get the Roche nice and early. You don't really think of SF as an early Roche hero on his own, but with some extra damage from like Serpent Wards, the negative armor is pretty helpful.
Yeah, they will get it. I mean, the ability to just continuously stack up ranges as well is like, even from carry Shadow Fiend, where you're not really investing into spell damage, like the raises do just continue to stack and give you some really good scaling damage against the Roshan. All right, well, Aegis into the hands of your Ember Spirit. That's the best case scenario. He's going to be the one taking advantage of this, putting this to good use, playing aggressive on the front line. We saw him, you know, get caught under the tier 2 tower earlier, but it's going to be difficult to kill this hero twice. Especially now that he has Mage Slayer is done. That's a big pickup this game.
Yeah, I also like it because there's only so many things you can dispel as Largo. And then you gotta think about...
they're gonna go for him, but yes, Searing Chains into the Remnant out. Well played from Lorinov. And he's got that Arcane Rune we were talking about, so it is bottled, available if he wants to use it. And Doom is closing in on this pipe. He's got another Midas usage here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I feel like once he has these fights become incredibly difficult for Nemesis.
Especially in combination with the Mage Slayer, right? It's two different ways, and AoE since it's on Ember, essentially.
And
so
Cloak
it's
Aura.
two different ways to deal with the magic damage. Cloak Aura as well.
If he gets another Cloak Aura upgrade, like when the... I think he's... I don't know when he can get it, but if he does get the Cloak Aura upgrade to like the next tier, it's just even better.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's one of the things I just never seem to remember, like the timing on when creep abilities upgrade. You just have to like click them and see where they're at, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. If it has to do with the upgrade cycle, it would kind of line up if it was 15 minutes, similar to other things.
Yeah.
But I have to double check that.
If he finds it again, he would get tier 3. I know that right now, so it would be 1 level higher. Searing Chains here, nice dive to find the Shadow Shaman behind the tower, but Max in pretty deep, and he's gonna have to spend the mana to run here, because that dude is looking for him. Florida on the front line, continuing to play aggressive. He's got the Aegis. They're looking for the opening. But it's a lot spent out of Nemesis so far. We'll see if what they want to do. I think you probably got to cut and run here. Jams will go ahead and throw the Cyclone. He should be fine. Crit. Is he going to get the Bushwhack? He does. They find the Brewmaster trying to escape. There's going to be the Vessel into the Sharpshooter. You're not making it through that gate, my friend. Good read from Crit there on the Hoodwink.
You get one for your troubles, because otherwise that was a pretty good move from Nemesis.
Got the tower and everything.
Yeah, tower, Shaman kill. And this is into Aegis, right? So like it's pretty good to find these plays. Losing Brewmaster makes it sting a little bit, but I think you are just kind of making space for Muerta, which unfortunately gets caught out here. Can you...
Oh, no, the silence! Dude, That's a big issue there from Amar. Walks into the calling silence, but it's up to Ember and Crit now that will instead just rip through this backline. They take down 2 in exchange. The Searing Chains as well as the Vessel did so much heavy lifting. This is where I think Amar wishes he had bought the pipe instead of the Midas there.
It is the downside, right? You would have had pipe, or maybe you have a blink to get like the actual blink doom off. Instead, you're slowly walking in. Even with drums and phase boots, like that's plenty of time to react to. So get the silence, can't actually do. Once again, there's been a lot of these fights, the doom is not coming out.
Okay.
He has a safety remedy down, right?
No,
Oh,
he doesn't, but yeah, it's still like, I think he's fine. Yeah, it's a very heavy commitment to kill him, and he's going to find himself a regen rune bottom.
Dude, Lorinov is killing it on these runes this game. He's gotten most of them, I feel like.
Crit's been scouting him. Crit's done a really good job at scouting and protecting runes when Lorinov wasn't there as well. Okay, is that BKB done for the Ember? Not quite. He's
yet,
20 gold
but
away.
yeah, just it's right around the corner. So, pipe, Cloak Aura, Mage Slayer, BKBs, and a lot of your damage is magic. Hoodwink, not benefiting from any of those things though, so at least they'll be able to find a quick kill on Crit. More galvanized stacks, always appreciated for Storm Spirit. He's at 13, that's actually not too bad.
I really like the Shadow Blade pickup.
Sneaky.
It's a really good item on Shadow Fiend. It's you know, name synergy more than anything.
Wow.
Oh my god. Sometimes you just blink into a snowball. That hurts. That was a very dead Tusk otherwise.
He's like, there's gotta be a ward. There's no way he just does that. But it was just, sometimes things just luck out your way.
Yeah.
Q gonna be very happy with how that went down.
1 more minute. Power rune. We'll see where it's going to be. Bottom side. Hex comes out from Snake King, but Catchy look there to save him. Searing Chains onto 3. He's just going to go in aggressively on Lorinov. He got the amplified damage. He wants to put it to use, and now with Amar coming through, just going to add fire on top of this already burning team. Aggressive blink again from the Shaman. Gets those shackles, takes down both supports. This should be a tier 2 in the mid lane. See what else I can get done with this.
They're gonna be happy with the tier 2. They drop the wards pretty quickly. I can't imagine they're planning to go tier 3. Maybe you poke it a little bit, but
yeah, I thought they might save the wards for maybe the tier 2 top. Like maybe look for 2 sets of tower, like 2 tier 2 towers, because the top lane was kind of pushing in, but I'll happily just take over the jungle.
I think they saw Ember top, so they were trying to find Shadow Fiend there, but quick reactions.
He's got some backup. Dude, the amount of damage reduction that's going to be coming through from the side of Falcons with this itemization, I don't know how you play into this. Like, the pipe's done with the Cloak Aura. He's on his way to the Crimson Guard, which is almost done. You got that Mage Slayer like you talked about. BKBs eventually as well. Like, how does 23 actually kill anybody when in these fights? Maybe I'm still underestimating the amount of damage Bucharest can do, but this is a lot of spell damage reduction.
Right now, it will be a little tough, but as she picks up more and more items, like, even though her thing is magic damage, her physical damage is not bad if it's late game. And I think she's got several Pierce the Veil stacks, which in a way, like, the more of those, which is infinitely scaling, counters some of the magic resistance in the late game. But there is this timing, like you said, for Falcons, where they are super strong and just need to actually continue to act on it. They have a 10k gold lead here at 26 minutes, which is nice. It's better than it was last game for Nemesis, at least, though. The problem is, to the damage reduction, like you said, it's requiring them to bring a lot of heroes to get these kills, which is why they're dropping in farm compared to Falcons, who can play around the map a little better with the Remnant, right? You see him, like, he's heading top once again to split push, and he can always join his team pretty easily. pretty close.
It's definitely a closer, much closer game here this time around. Like, they actually have the kill advantage, but you're still down 10,000 gold. It is a relatively long Roche, which for Nemesis, probably the best possible scenario. I think you do not really want to fight into Falcons at the moment. Even though you just got like your Storm BKB, I do think you are very susceptible to like jumping in and still getting doomed and dying. They have a ward. You're on 23 bottom. They don't really have the team nearby, though. They are smoking to the top side.
Javis has been playing top a lot, so I think, you know, they might be looking for him, but he's actually joined his team for a smoke. Maybe they can finally get a rune mid for Mac. He has not had many this game. 28-minute rune could be perfect, though. Could get you a big fight into
taking the
Roche.
outpost. Lorna actually scouting some heroes out here. An immediate zip up to the high ground. And it's another big rune. This one bottom is the Arcane. For Storm Spirit, this would be enormous, but they don't feel confident going for it, so it's going to go into Lorna again.
If he knew it was Arcane, he might have gone for it, but yeah, he's not willing to take that risk. I don't think he's known fully where Doom is, because Doom was smoked through a lot of that. So he's just too scared to zip in and then you get caught. Fair play, but it does mean Arcane Rune over for Ember. You're set up again for Roche, which will spawn in about 30 seconds. They were really hoping to find something there.
They've got a really good ward on the left side of the lane here. If they catch the Storm Spirit long enough to go for the Doom, it would be huge. Crit with the Glimmer Cape. They got him. Bushwhack comes out, but guess what? Nolamar doesn't get... He didn't use it! He was definitely in range. Did they lose vision somehow? Was there a Glimmer Cape that came out? Like...
There wasn't not any of that. It might have been like sometimes over the tree lines. It's like kind of funny with the cast range. That definitely felt like he could have doomed there.
Didn't lose vision, surely, right? Like...
I'm not sure.
Weird. Okay, they'll pop the roar and bait the Roche attempt. Looking mid, immediately going in the Doom onto jabs. That is what you want to find. Snowball. Buy them a moment of space, but the Requiem will fear them as soon as it's done, and they will go for 2 kills right away to start this fight. Now, Mac needs to be careful. Has the BKB available, but... And we'll give this one up. 2 kills into the Roshan. Happy for that. Plus, you know... 2 presence in the Dark Lord stacks for the Shadow Fiend, right? Those lasting presence stacks make team fighting very difficult.
Yeah, which Observer pointing out didn't even really use the auras in that team fight. That was just such a clean jump with the Doom this time around. So you need the split to happen. You got to lift some heroes up, cause some chaos. Without that, you can't even try to take the fight. So Aegis and Banner over to the hands of Falcons. I wonder if they push right away. Usually you farm a little bit, look for a pickoff with Aegis. Catapults are here. This is a really nice time to push with the Banner. And they are pretty strong. Like 15-ish, down a little bit, 14-ish K. It's kind of enough to brute force if you want, though that's not usually Falcons' style. You know, they're like...
they'll take Tormentor first, and then look for something.
Yeah, they like farming it up.
They're almost to the Shadow Fiend BKB. Like, he has Aegis, which is fantastic. He has his 20 talents as well, which is a ton of damage. But they'll take the Tormentor and farm to that BKB, and I think with that BKB, we'll probably look to try and go aggressive. Scorched Earth Shard for Doom. Not like the worst shard, honestly. You just don't typically like to buy this because there's so many other items Doom actually needs, but this will give him some sustain in the fights.
These kind of Brewlings are... There's like more things than usual, right?
Yeah,
so maybe
exactly.
a little extra healing. Now, downside of Nemesis's draft, like they have better playmaking this time around, and we see it reflected in the kill score, but the lockdown is still not the greatest. So a hero like Ember Spirit,
oh my
poor
god.
Tusk.
Crit just throws the boomerang and is like, that'll be good enough. Tusk does get the blink out thanks to the snowball, of course, but Now you can see just the damage from the Shadow Fiend is very much an issue for this team. And another power rune for Lorinov. He's ready and waiting at 32 minutes. Gets himself the shield rune.
As long as he keeps his distance from Largo, I mean, that rune's pretty good. Can have the whole thing removed by Catchy Lick, so can't commit as hard as he normally would. Which is, that was the point I was making right before that. He's been able to play very aggressively, split push a lot. He was doing it with a Huskar last game, but this time with an Ember Spirit, it's just not easy to lock him down long enough to kill him, especially now that he has the BKB. He's got the Mage Slayer, he's reducing your damage. So he's been able to keep all the lanes shoved in, which has, well, one, it's just helped them farm, right, in the usual Falcons way, but it's been hard to make plays on the side of Nemesis when your lanes are constantly in your face. It's too obvious when you try to do things.
Radiant's top tower. Radiant's top tower.
Where's 23 on his farm? Trying to get a Mjolnir.
There's a smoke bottom. Snaking. Gonna find the kill here with the help of Lorna. Very easy for the Ember Spirit. This topside crit makes an immediate TP. Gonna try and look for an opening here with Skitter and see who's playing on this side of the map. And a little bit afraid maybe to walk up to the high ground. They have some vision.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, Skitter. I mean, he's got the Aegis, and the rest of the team I don't think is too far away. Does get the Force Staff to the other side of the Ice Shards, and he's just gonna turn around and just take down Q himself. Primal Split was committed as well from Jab, so he's got to get these out of here. No one was really there to help finish off the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, you can kind of see where if they weren't so far behind, the two of them alone could have popped Aegis, right? They got him down to like the last couple hundred health. So if your Storm has one more item, if Shadow Fiend has one less item, right? You finish the job, you pop Aegis, you get out. But that's, you know, that's why Falcons likes to farm up first. You just hit these nice power spikes, that extra item, which is the BKB on Shadow Fiend, gives him the power to stay alive. And here you are pushing with the banner, the Serpent Ward. Not really much you can do to stop this. 40 seconds still on Aegis as well. This will just be the barracks down. Maybe two. They're gonna go straight to mid. I think you can try one more fight on Nemesis. Their cooldown they need. I think so. I think Mjolnir's being delivered, and I think you're gonna have to give it a go here.
20 seconds on the Aegis is gonna be probably the green light to kind of like leave on Falcons. Yeah, they don't want to stick around past the Aegis timing, despite being pretty dang strong. So they'll give it up. They're like, all right, we got a lane, we got a tier 3. If they can get out cleanly, they're going to be really happy about this. And it looks like they will. They tried to make a little bit of a play there to the Ember, but very slippery hero. They'll grab both Wisdom Shrines. They'll grab themselves an Illusion Rune for a Shadow Fiend. And they are unpunished with this whole play.
This is getting close to Ember. Well, they were. Yeah, that's the hard thing. You know, props to Lorinov. He's been filling his job this game, which is shove in lanes, force them to respond, and live as much as you can. You know, they caught him twice in the early game, but I don't think he's died since then. No. And he's been split pushing nonstop, which speaks to how hard it is to actually kill this Ember when you've got the Zip Vortex, but in the time it takes to close the distance with Zip, someone like Lorinov can easily react to that. You have the Blink Walrus Punch, and that's your best initiation. And that's kind of it, you know? Like, Frog Stomp doesn't really count. Dead Shot is pretty tricky when they're, like, being punched. You know, Vortex pulled. You might miss that. Even if you land it, it still might not be enough to finish the kill, and then you're out of crowd control.
Yeah, the dude is so tanky. It's unreal. Finds another Arcane Rune. He's got his Aghanim Scepter completed now. So Arcane Rune, Ag Scepter, Ember Spirit. This dude's going to be all over the fight. With an 18,000 gold lead. Like, Falcons could sit back and farm it up. I think right now it's like get bottom tier 2 tower, open up the high ground once more, and I think you just dive the base. Like, I think you are legitimately strong enough to just go in off the back of a Doom and kill whoever follows who decides to like, try and contest them.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Ward placed aggressively, a smoke coming outside of the base. They are gonna get the vision there. Matt goes in, looks for snaking, doesn't quite get it, and Zed just has to zip away. And Amar, oh, they find 23 on the Muerta, just doomed up. She pops the ult, trying to do what damage she can, but look at the Ember Spirit, just deletes both of the support. Skidder now falling low, forced to BKB. 23's done a lot of damage, but his ult is now expired. His BKB is expired. Can they get out of the fight with the kill onto these heroes? No, 23's dead. Borna is still quite healthy. Doom, he's gonna tick down, but he's back on the Shadow Fiend, does quite a bit of work. A refresher into a second ult here from Jabs, trying to get Skidder, but protected by a Glimmer Cape and the Shadow Blade. Largo trying to run down crit, but we've kind of continued to forget the fact that Lorda has not been pressured at all in this fight. Jabs, his ult's about to expire, throws a boulder, gets the blink away, trying to TP. They find him, and they've got the shackles. It's a full team wipe at the end of the day, and a dieback on your Largo.
Radiant's middle barracks are
We kind
It's the
of
Lorna
see...
show, man.
Yeah, we kind of see some of the idea of the Muerta in that fight. Like, she did do a lot of damage into everything we said, right? Like, all the damage reduction for her ultimate, and still, she was pretty close to killing some heroes. So, maybe if this game was a little bit closer, that is the Nemesis comeback right there. But for the way Falcons, yeah, but I mean, if he's on his own, right? Like, he can't do it literally all on his own.
Yeah.
So maybe if she was a bit more farmed, if Falcons a little less farmed, that's the idea of the carry Muerta. But Falcons has itemized for it, and because of that, they all barely live, and they can turn around the fight. They clean up the megas now. Nemesis looks like they're gonna hold on and try for one more desperate fight.
Arsenal 2-1 at least. Okay, Crit. All right, they're just watching some football in the background right now. Oh my goodness.
Falcons will chill now. You can see they're feeling pretty good about their chances in this series. They'll wait for Roche to close this one out with the megas. It's tough to imagine what they can do. I do think, okay, here's what they got. He's got the Crystallis on Muerta. This is where this hero really shines. If they can somehow hold on till Daedalus, I don't know, maybe, Pierce the Veil with a Daedalus crit is insane damage, especially when buffed up by, like, Largo, Tusk, all of that. Maybe someone on Falcons gets overconfident, goes in a little too far. Maybe the punch lockdown is honestly enough, if you get lucky with the Daedalus crit at that moment. Delete a couple heroes, do that, like, 10 times. Boom, you're back in.
Okay. The Scythe on Hoodwink, a little bit scary. We saw the Satanic actually have a lot of impact in that last fight, kept the Shadow Fiend alive. We'll see what happens this time, as they're going to look for the third Roshan. Is it third? I think that's third Roshan, right?
Yeah, third. They did a pretty early one with the Shadow Shaman.
That was right, yeah. Lorna almost has an Eye of Scotty. Not an item we see all that much on an Ember. Oh, come on, guys! Don't forget the Roshan's banner. I know you've got
Snake
megas
King
already. I mean, he did for a moment. He straight up walked to the high ground before realizing I was gone. So that's good. I was like, that. I know you got mega creeps, but this is kind of makes it even more important to get the banner. How do you protect your tier 4s from mega creeps?
Yeah, it'll be pretty tough. I guess you can at least run Brewlings into it, maybe to clear out the ward, but then you're using Blue Mantle for that. Here comes that Muerta damage.
He got the Satanic off. He's getting away, but Mars forced to beat KB. Okay, that was very close. That was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be.
I thought that was a cheese for the moment. He was just healing that much with the initial Satanic hit.
Yeah, it was just a couple hits from the Satanic.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to it, right? Like, if Muerta was just a little... If she was the one ahead of Shadow Fiend, then you're getting that kill. But I think that's the glimmer of hope for Nemesis. That's what they're saying. Like, look, he's so close to doing it. We just got to get him, like, get him this Daedalus, get a little lucky with crits. You know, go do some crazy comeback here.
Yeah, almost to the Daedalus. It's pretty close. The hero does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. It's just, you're very much have that window to do damage, where Shadow Fiend's window is kind of just perpetual.
Here he comes. His satanic, it's all he used defensively. He never used the BKB since he's back.
Trouble here on the bottom lane. Crit goes in a little bit too far, gets punished for it. Ember Spirit, though, seemingly unbothered by the state of this. Where's the snowball? There it is. Ends up just being 2 kills. Jumping back and forth with that Shiva's, doing so much damage. To try and get aggressive here. He does have BKB as well as a Greater Lotus in the backpack. Fear into the Doom. The Muerta's gone, baby. No way out of this one. Shackles gonna prevent her from doing anything. Well, 90 seconds on the sideline now. You're missing your big damage dealer, but Max doing some heavy lifting here. Takes down the Shadow Shaman. Needs to get out of here. The cheese, unfortunately, not able to be used. So that Cyclone's about to expire, and this was the second round of the Brewmaster's ultimate. Up into the fountain we go, as that's gonna be the end of the game here for Nemesis. A full team wipe as the GGs come out, and Falcons will take the series 2-0. Very convincingly, they're looking good with the stand-in.
Yeah, that was some classic Falcons despite the